Okay, this podcast is called Going on Vacation with Parkinson's. Of course, Parkinson's is something you can never go on vacation from. So I want to talk a little bit about some experiences I've had and how to handle going on vacation if you have disabilities. I wanted to get into artificial intelligence, which I don't think there's enough out there yet. And I was looking at UMS Digital Library, and I think one of the areas that's probably lacking, but it's probably embedded, but I think there's going to have to be more identity for artificial intelligence. A lot of the information, you got a smartwatch or any other device, is collecting a lot of health information. And what I found is that uh, that information is out there. It tells how much you're walking. You can imagine if you go to an airport and you need a wheelchair or you need activity or action, it can be easily shown that you're not walking very much. So the fact that you need a wheelchair or need assistance can be verified. I think that's the same if you go to some type of sports or entertainment venue. And I think that it's definitely lacking with Ticketmaster and others. They really don't do much as far as disabilities. They take people's word for it, and sometimes that can be misleading. And there can be other people that's part of the venue or part of the guest list that are an addition. It may not be necessary, but even the person that has the disabilities is sometimes hard to identify. So I think some of the things I'm showing here on this trip is important, and it's important that you figure out ways to incorporate it in. And I've been looking at that quite a bit because I'm aware of what Smart 911 does, and I worked with 911, so I know that information can be collected and available. And I mentioned that in this podcast, but I want to get in depth with that and talk about a trip that we made to Phoenix and some of the things that came about and why it would have been important to have had, I guess, the information and artificial intelligence in order to work with things that you're trying to do. We did use the Waymo out there, and I wanted to do that because it's kind of driven by artificial intelligence, and it's a self-driving car. And we went out to I don't know, the museum out there, and we did other things, and we talked with people with disabilities and things that might be important that they rely on the technology of artificial intelligence.
In these most challenging moments, we find the greatest rewards. To paraphrase Ginger Rogers on Fred Astaire, we did everything regular people did on our vacation in Phoenix, just with mental and physical challenges. For the younger crowd, Ginger Rogers did everything that Fred Astaire did. She just did it backwards in high heels.
Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no
Passports, driver's license to chargers, from telehealth to toiletries to snacks. For the journey, we double-checked every item on the list. We wanted our venture to Phoenix to be seamless and memorable, and paying attention to the smallest detail was essential. We're going to try this again see if our microphones work. You want to test it there? Say test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3.
All right. We're thinking about, we're going to go Thursday out to to Phoenix, and I was thinking what you wanted to see while you were out there. I know that when we get to the airport, we're supposed to be picked up by Waymo, and then we're going to ride in it over to our Airbnb, and then we're going to check in there, and we probably have to get some food. What do you need for food, do you think?
Just, I don't know. It's just something here and there. I don't know.
Just the basics?
Yeah, just the basics.
And you know that we're real close to the fashion mall, so we got access to a lot of
Yeah,
food courts.
like Starbucks and all that.
Starbucks is there, and then you can go over just a little bit further to the old Scottsdale, and then we can go. We'll be seeing Sid and Sharon Shreve. You looking forward to seeing them?
Yes, it's something different.
Something different. All right. So it'll be hot, but you think you can manage that because we're going to be indoors a lot.
Actually, I can manage it because I've got the right clothes.
All right. What else do you want to do? The car, you think you can handle the self-driving car, and then we're going to go to see the Glenn Campbell Band at.
And we're going to go to Old Town Scottsdale, and I don't know what else.
You want to see the art there, and you want to see some of the other things.
Yes.
And we'll go see some other things in museums. We may see some big.
We're going to get some influence from some people that live there.
All right. So they'll tell us what to do.
Yes.
And then we'll try to do whatever they suggest, and then see how close we are to things. And then we know there's a church that's pretty close, and then we know that there's some other things that we can do, and we'll just kind of work them in as we feel like it. Does that sound okay to you?
Yes, we feel like it, or me and Mom.
Run. All right. Well, it's good to be here in the Boone County Airport Manager. And we got Judy McCutcheon. And how are you doing today, Judy?
I'm doing great. It's just a beautiful day and things are going well.
Well, we're getting ready to fly out tomorrow morning. I think it's a 6:30 flight to Dallas, and then we're going to go on there to Phoenix. And, in the middle of summer, people say, what's up? And we're going to go out there and find out a little bit about artificial intelligence and just kind of meet some friends that we have and maybe match up to a former, I guess, a person that's born here, Bryce Molder, on the PGA Tour. And he's kind of doing a second job now. So we're looking forward to that. Tell me, how things are going with I know you.
Okay, this is my trip to the airport approximately 25 years ago. And as you note, there's a BMW for product placement. So I thought I'd put that out there, but you'll get a look at the airport and what it is to enter the airport and how easy it is to pick up a passenger or to depart.
But it's parking. It's free parking right at the front door. You were talking about being disabled. It's one level. You park in the front door. You don't have 20 steps before you're walking in the terminal with that. And then when you land in Dallas, if you're going beyond, you got a shuttle that takes you. If you're just going to Dallas, whoever's picking you up there, it's free parking at Corporate Aviation, so they can pick you up at the front door there as well. So it makes it really convenient for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's what I was looking at too. Is that, I do have a little small walker. I don't have a real big one or anything, but I can get around pretty good. If I have to go a distance. But here, I've got a little cane, and I can get in here and then get on the plane, and then from there it's a very manageable trip, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't know, that's what I'm hoping that as we do this, and people who have issues or disabilities, that they see it's not hard to get out and do something, and that's what we're hoping to do. And I know that I'm gonna have to kind of close it out here, but I thought we might give a little bit of a shout out to Stan Little. I think he might be watching this at some point, and I think he's always been a good friend of everybody here and good friend of Harrison, and I know you've seen it up front and close. But you got anything you'd like to say to Stan at this point?
The one thing I do want to say to Stan first is go Hogs.
Yeah.
But Stan's been tremendous. Of course, Stan's the president of the airlines and owns it, and he's a great community.
Nothing better than being awakened by a thunderstorm in the dry time of mid-July. Unless you're getting ready for your family to board a flight to go to Dallas on our way to our looking for our happy place in Phoenix, Arizona. So stay tuned. See how the adventure continues. A lot of excitement, a lot of rain, a lot of sunny days, and see how it ends. Thanks. One of the nice things at a small airport, I had met Stan Little. He's the chairman and chief executive officer for Southern Airways. And so, you know, I sent him a video clip of my interview with the airport manager, and he said, "Great interview. I feel like I know a movie star, Judy. And safe travels and have a great flight, Herb. All of us at Southern appreciate your support and your business." So that's the thing with best. Okay, getting ready to board. Nice that FedEx has sent their private plane to take us on to Phoenix since we had a rain delay. Okay, all right. Second thought, looks like we're going to be boarding the Southern Skyways aircraft to Dallas, but it'll all be good.
Okay, on board you can see that we pretty close to the pilot and co-pilot, and it's kind of interesting to see the expression of my daughter Christy. She's a little more apprehensive here than when she is riding in the Waymo.
The airport handling of individuals with disabilities deserves nothing but the highest grade, an A+, if you will. They truly mastered the art of whisking you away from check-in all the way to boarding, ensuring a smooth journey with a wheelchair when necessary. They share a little personal tidbit on this. As someone who's slogged 1 million miles on not one but two airlines, American and United, I can honestly say I've never encountered a more seamless connection. You see, we were bombarded with suggestions left and right, but the airport experience proved to be an absolute breeze. And here's a little nugget of wisdom for you. When it comes to airports, it's not about showing off your toughness. No. Just opt for the wheelchair, my friends. It expedites the process and makes the entire flying experience more enjoyable for both you and your fellow passengers. Speaking of visuals, there's a video of me engaging in a little drag race while my daughter expertly handles the luggage. Remember, folks, always have wheels at your disposal. It's a key to a smoother journey, no doubt about it. So after securing her luggage, they were just two pieces of luggage. So we caught a lift. It turned out to be a breeze compared to having to chase down the Waymo, the driverless car. I had hoped to take it to the Airbnb, but it would not have taken us basically directly to the door. Might left us a block or so away, and so we stumbled on that revelation later. But we were glad that we weren't burdened by luggage when that happened. You see, even short walks became impractical when temperatures soar above 110 degrees. We live close to a lot of things, but still, it was smart to take a lift to those areas and go door to door. Even in the mall next to us, or just a little ways off, we normally took that so we could get to a certain location and then return that way. But 3 riding and not more than a $7 fee was probably well worth it. And we didn't rent a car; we just went with the Lyft. Some people would have chosen Uber, but my choice is Lyft over some success I've had with it in the past in Orlando and other places I travel. When some airlines have started charging for carry-ons, remember that with disabilities, you're entitled to bring along one trusty carry-on at no cost. That obviously for your medicine and other things that you might have, and you need to know those rights. And we played by the rules and paid for our check baggage, just keeping the score straight. The adventures that unfold when traveling, never a dull moment. Okay, we had mixed experiences with Frontier. It's great that they offered low fares and adhered to a schedule, but it's unfortunate that that we incurred issues with customer service, luggage, additional charges. It's commendable that Discover Card provided assistance in resolving those charges.
And so you're going to see a lot of humility from me. I wouldn't want to, there's not going to. But I failed did I mention my Ironman? Well, there's a lot of things to be said about somebody who's an Ironman, about the persistence of being able to go from here to Little Rock, 140 miles, and you be, running a marathon and swimming all the rivers and then bicycling part of the way. So, you can do that, then you've got a lot of fortitude. Unfortunately, this is not my cup. My son has run multiple Ironman as well as marathons. So I can't take credit for that, but I'll take credit for anything I can, as you probably guessed at this point. So I apologize for running long, and maybe I can edit it down, but maybe not.
Keith is saying in the Grinch That Stole Christmas, and how people did overcome the Grinch. And that's a little bit, if you want to look at the moral of the story, if you say, of creating a video like this about travel, as to what the consequences and responsibilities are. I know that sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between people that are looking out for your good and they just don't want to take the time or effort. And then there's issues that you may be concerned about and they may be concerned about that are not really issues that you've already done research on. So that's part of the story. And you can talk about the Grinch that stole your vacation, or your Grinch that stole your trip to the mall, or trip to visit a friend. There's a lot of Grinches out there, and we're trying to figure out ways to deal with that. And I think you'll see that as we talk about various things that happen on the trip and getting going, that you'll find that in airlines, or you'll find that in your credit card or debit card, or just places that you stay, and how you determine where to stay and what rides to take, whether it's having a rental car or whether you go to an Uber, or out in out in Phoenix you might want to take a Waymo. But there's a lot of things that's intertwined. It's not only just about that, but also what the alternatives are with artificial intelligence. So it does have a little more than just a shallow representation of just making a trip.
The condo here, you can see we have a pool inside. Well, it is a pool table, not a pool. But we do have a pool outside. I'm not sure when you use that, maybe early in the morning to late night. And then we call it.
Okay, here's the front door, so it's very accessible.
Nice, ambiance as far as what we can do. And you'll see that as you go around here, we're really close to the Scottsdale Fashion Center, or whatever, the mall or whatever. So we have a lot of things going on here, so it's a good time to be here to do some things.
The back door leads right outside to the pools.
One of the things I found out by just having access to a pool was the fact that I could walk at a very fast pace without the fear of falling. So when I returned, I did talk to my neurologist, and we set up some physical therapy.
I'll build a house where safe. And if you call my name, then I'll be there. Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape. Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape.
Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and change it. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. Every single day, every single day. Everybody sour like a lemon tree. I'm just smiling down upon my enemies. Do the shit and love it on a daily. You say you hate your job, but you'll never leave, never leave. But that ain't gonna be me, that ain't gonna be me. My brother called me up, said he saw me on TV. I said it was. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and change it. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, every single day.
So a lot of data is being gathered through your watch or your iPad or your iPhone, and this is being stored.
I think what I was kind of getting down to was, at this point, it was the fact that artificial intelligence and a lot of other things are starting to deal with the data that's gathered. And what's happened is that there's a great amount of data that's being collected, because we know that with people like Epic Systems up in Madison, where my grandson works, and we also know that Apple.
Your MyChart is created by Epic.
Madison, where my grandson works, and we also know that Apple and Apple Watches are so we want to know that information, when people are traveling or they're with disabilities, that they're not being they're not having to be having to discover a lot of information. We want them to be able to have that information right at their hands. And other people, if there's issues, I know I did Smart 911 at times, and having that information available if something comes up is really important. I think what we were getting to there is there are going to be ways, because it's been done in the past with a lot of behavioral marketing or behavioral gathering of data and target marketing. So that was really kind of where I was wanting to get to, is that point. But I think what the other point was, you got to deal with differences of people and not jump to conclusions, and some of that is having that information available and not being hesitant to have that information available when issues come up.
Okay, one of the issues we had with Waymo is it would not take us directly to the Airbnb, but if you're just staying at a hotel, it would have dropped you off there.
Okay, Joe, I just wanted to get your talk on it. While you were diagnosed with Parkinson's, and also I know you've worked with a car dealer, and we're going to be driving, or we're going to be riding in a self-driving vehicle, and there's a lot of people who's got intimidation or intimidated by that. And I know that it may be something when we get there, we look at it and say, this is not for me. But, we're going to look at it. We're going to do the Chevy Chase and vacation type of look over, and they may be forced to drive because there may not be an option there. But I just thought you might give us a little background on, you know, when you found out you had Parkinson's and how it's limited you.
I found out in December of 2011.
Okay.
And it has limited me in my right hand a good bit. Thank the Lord I'm left-handed.
Now, were you retired when you found that out? Or
Yes.
So you were already retired, and
Yeah.
you were living here, and so
Yeah.
that was a big part of that.
Yeah, we moved here in 1994.
Yeah. What do you enjoy doing now? Anything? I know you enjoy Mississippi State football.
I love Mississippi State football. I like Arkansas when they're not playing Mississippi State. Let's put it that way.
Well, good. I know I got a cowbell somewhere from you, so
Yeah.
I like to ring that at special times. But so
You can drink my liquor, you can call my lady, you can take my money, you can smoke my blunt. Scuff these Jordans, you can say you hate me, you can call me crazy, but don't touch my truck. Don't touch my truck.
I take the keys to my truck, hit the shop cause I'm faded. Honey's in the streets, say money, yo, we made it. It feels so good in my hood tonight. The summertime skirts and the guys ain't canine. All the gangbangers forgot about the drive-by. You gotta. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. La 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 la. This is how we do it. It feels so good in my hood tonight. The summertime skirts and the guys ain't canine. All the gangbangers forgot about the drive-by. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and change it. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, every single day.
What was your thought on the Waymo? What did you like or didn't like about it?
It was just a different experience.
Well, was it something that because it didn't have a driver in the front that bothered you or didn't bother you? You didn't seem to be too excited either way, so I didn't know if you.
It was just something different.
Okay, so it's different, but it didn't really bother you riding it. You think you might at some point? It was all done by an app on your iPhone, and I just called it and clicked and opened the door, and we got in. And because we had I had my walker with me, it caused a little bit of an issue because we were trying to buckle our seats, and we were in a Walmart parking lot. So that was kind of funny because we were trying to get situated, so we didn't get much of a video of getting in there. But I just thought it was at least an experience, and there's some things there that they could do better, and there's some things that might work in the future. But
it's a great experience. Mulder's career has been sure and steady. Playing collegiately at Georgia Tech, he is one of just four-time first-team All-Americans, a short list that includes Phil Mickelson and David Duvall.
Yeah, I mean, I came out of college as one of the can't miss, in quotations, guys, and for a little while I missed. I think I had a buddy caddy for me one year.
Mashed potato! Oh, this is a beauty. Didn't get any more than 20 feet off the ground.
There's the stinger. What was that, Chair? Did somebody scream mashed potatoes? That was mashed.
all right. Well, it's good to be here with Bryce Mulder. I didn't realize. Well, I knew it all along that you were born in Harrison. Have you ever been back to Harrison, or is that just kind of place you were born in?
It's been a little while. You know, when I was living there, still playing, some golf in the state. Certainly made it through there, and I know we'd always go back home and visit some family, some friends that my parents still had at the time, but they're in Harrison. But it's been a little while.
When's the last time you were there?
It would have been It would have been at some point in college. I knew we went through there. Maybe after college, I played in some tournaments up in Springfield, Missouri.
Okay.
So I played in some. Would have been Corn Ferry now, but
whatever
it's called back then. So,
that golf course up in Springfield, that was kind of an interesting course. I mean, it was a nice course.
It was.
I enjoyed going up there and watching them because you could see, I don't know, a lot of those people didn't have any sponsors. I guess it was really tough. You could tell that, boy, they were hustling for the deal. I worked a little bit with Kiwanis and rodeo people coming through, and it's kind of the same atmosphere. They really were hard at it. But I know you were in Conway. Now, you went to high school at Conway, or?
I did junior high and high school.
Okay, junior high and high school. Now, you, I guess, did you ever have to come to Harrison when you played in high school, or was that just any time? I just kind of making that connection if there was one.
We did. There were junior tournaments in the summer, and then I know there was always. I think Harrison hosted a tournament in high school, and I know we played at least twice.
Yeah.
So we went up there and played a little bit. I know my dad and I went up to play in a parent junior event a couple times. Okay. I remember that. So I remember being up there some. It's been a little while, but I remember getting up there.
Well, let's see. I think you could be my father's son. You could probably play for my son's a little older than you, so we have played some of those, and we actually did okay. But my son,
due to budget constraints, wasn't able to record the interview on the TPC Scottsdale course.
talent. And he had a Poland syndrome. Mm-hmm. And what did you know about that? What do you see about that?
His one arm is shorter than the other one.
And what about his left hand?
And a few fingers are shorter.
Okay. So you could kind of compare that with some of the things you've had.
Against the odds, Mulder was born without a left pectoral muscle and a rare disease known as Poland syndrome, which left his left hand smaller than his right hand and 3 of his fingers webbed, requiring 2 surgeries before the age of 5.
And you said you knew people in Harrison that had that, or had,
yes,
and they've been doing okay with it, or they have physical therapy and some things.
Yes,
so that was
they're a assistant at a physical therapy in Harrison.
Okay, and so people have done well, and that was kind of encouraging to hear that he had gone to the level of being a professional golfer and done well in professional golfing, and he kind of got to the point where he was sort of burnt out, and he decided to just to be home with his kids and do something he loved doing, a type of work. Was that interesting to hear about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you? I think you asked him a question about.
So I thought it was interesting that we came across this village over in Costa Rica, and there was a lot of kids out there playing, and we started having a discussion as, can they be happy there or be as happy there as our kids are in the States? And I thought you had a lot of things that you thought about and you asked, and I thought maybe
you said something to me that I've often thought about. We were coming along, and we were driving kind of through a little jungle area, a little road. We come into an open area, a little village.
And we did have these buzzards flying over us.
And as we were going down the little road, this little narrow road, there was a little power line here. There were a couple of buzzards flying. They'd fly ahead of us, and when we get up there, they kept going to the next one. Kind of looked like they were waiting for us to die or something. We weren't sure. But anyway, we came upon this village, and there's a bunch of little kids playing. How come your grandson was born in the circumstances in which he was born, and then you got these little kids out here that just out here in this village running around, and you said something to me, you said, yeah, but look at them. Look how happy they are. Mm-hmm. And I started thinking, what is happiness? Is it having lots of things? Is it just being happy with your friends and that? So it kind of gave me a little pause to think a little bit. And some of my church activity, when I had to give a talk or get a lesson or something, I used that example several times. And it was very interesting. Of course,
so we established the key point finding your happy place as far as the podcast. The joy we feel has little to do with the circumstances of our lives and everything to do with the focus of our lives.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a whiz of a whiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever, oh, ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We're off to see the wizard.
Finding my happy place, I know that it's easy to say that probably about anywhere with family is going to be your happy place, but I thought I'd kind of connect it with some of the travels. And one of the things I found when I traveled internationally and did our first system globally outside U.S. and Canada was I did a system over in Saipan. And as my remembrances of it, and I know it's changed since then, but it's about a 50 square mile island. But do a little bit of history, and of course with the movie Oppenheimer, you might recall that the Enola Gay that bombed Hiroshima came out of the island of Tinian, which is adjoining to Saipan. And of course Saipan is very close to Guam. If you're trying to fly there, you can go to Hawaii and get to, or 8 hours, and get to Guam and then have a shuttle over to Saipan, or you can go the other route of going to Tokyo and flying down that route to Saipan. If you recall, that route is probably the route of the Enola Gay or any of the B-29s in flying back and forth to Japan. So it had a lot of history in that as well. But the reason I wanted to feature that was because the operator I started with, Lee Holmes, had been there for several years and had established his system. But later on, Larry Hillblum, and you may...
Well, Hillblum was the bizarre billionaire. He was the H in DHL, and he was an interesting guy there. He was into the politics.
Larry Hillblum, and you may be familiar with that name. He's the H in DHL Freight, and if you've seen some Dateline on Larry Hillblum, you'll see that he's got a little bit of a checkered past, and he's also, being a billionaire, being targeted with a lot of other things, but being able to install systems into competitive people such as Holmes and Hillblum was pretty much a big accomplishment.
Well, I went to my hairdresser, barber, cosmetologist. She says she's a cosmetologist in 2.5 states. I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong half of that half state. I never did really figure that out. But I always give her a lot of tips. Not the money kind. I wouldn't want to, pay her more than what I'm paying her, because she does a barber's work at a cosmetologist's price. So I think she's well rewarded, and she's really a nice person. But I thought, as many tips as I'd given her about TV programs and movies, and she likes to get into politics sometimes, and we talk about that a little bit, and just a lot of other things about her business, and how to work with internet. And she had an Airbnb for a while, and she's just done a lot of little this and that. So when I went.
Well, my cosmetologist did provide me a hair option once. What do you think? Yeah, I'm here with my hairdresser, or are you a barber, hairdresser? What are you? What's your?
I'm a cosmetologist, Herb.
Cosmetologist, and that's good. I'm glad.
licensed in 2.5 states.
So if I'm getting a haircut by a cosmetologist,
That's right.
it's still a haircut, but it might cost a little more.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I want to get your opinion of we're taking the family out in mid-July when it's really hot. It's a lot hotter than it is here. I mean, 110 plus every day. What do you think about me taking the family out there?
Well, Herb, I've known you for a long time, so I know exactly why you took your family out to the West Desert in July, because rates are cheaper. You're basically a tightwad.
Okay, that's probably a good answer. Well, let's go ahead and talk about your happy place. What would you call your happy place? The place you've been?
Well, my happy place is not a physical place, really. It's things that I do that I really love. And I was just thinking about that this morning, as a matter of fact. I'm helping Dr. Burton restore the McCoy house next door here at Kirby Manor.
All right.
And I was glazing and cleaning windows, and I just really enjoy, I'm happy when I'm working on a building. And the other happy place is in my flower garden, particularly watering my flower garden, not necessarily weeding. I love to water my flower garden. I've created a stream in my backyard, and I'd say that's my physical happy place.
Well, so if I ever need somebody to wash windows or water the yard or anything, you're available? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, do you have any other physical things away from here and the things that you described? Where would you say is one of the places you've been that you really enjoy?
Well, I know I'm not supposed to do something local, but the Buffalo River, I absolutely love to just kayak down and look through the water down onto the bottom and look for rocks and that sort of thing.
Have you ever nearly drowned or anything?
No, I'm a certified scuba diver, so
Okay.
I'm a pretty good swimmer. So
Okay. All right, so no place away from here then.
No. Home
All right.
is my happy place. It
All
really
right,
is.
all
My
right.
house, my home.
Well, that's good enough. Okay.